Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world today. We'll be getting started with our Final Fantasy XIV stream here in just a moment. Turn off the game sound and just play around a little bit first on the keys here, just before we get started on the game. But how are you doing today? I hope everything's going okay for you. See what we got going here. Let me pull up my my software here. Yeah, there's a little something to get us going today. Thank you. And let's see. Let's go ahead and get the game started back up here. Get our scenes back in order. All right, let's see. So, where were we here? Uh-oh. What did I do with my scenes here? There they are. There we go. Get things back in order here. A little bit of fun to get the stream off here. All right, turn back on the game volume and get going. So let's see, we got nighttime to return to all the zones, but then we absorbed too much light, I guess, and they did something that caused light to light to return now. So we're trying to figure out what's going on with that. Headed on our way to the Tempest. But I think what we need to do first here is work on our class quest here. We need to accompany Lurik to Raktika. We'll get this knocked out first thing in the morning. Get that wrapped up, and then we'll push on with the story, see how far we can get into the end of Stormbringers today. Something else I wanted to do was go ahead and check the hunt board. We ought to be able to get us a new elite mark hunt while we're running around here. Maybe I'll do that first in case one's around here. Let's just head on back real quick. Nothing pressing going on right now. See which zone this one's in here this time. Oh, the tree. Okay, over in Ilmeg. Probably run into that one while we are doing gathering or fishing over that way. All right, now back to Lurik. Ooh, it's a glowy event point. Here we go. Let me see. First thing in the morning. This is going to be interesting. Sure, I've got my tea going here, and if I may make one small request before we begin. Please, for the love of the gods, please try not to succumb to any visions of people's pasts. This really could not be a worse time. Okay. Well, are you still with me in the here and now? I think so. Excellent, then we can attend to the task at hand without worry. Let us lay to rest our fellow hunters and grant Renderay the peace a hero deserves. All right. So here we go. All right, let's see. Go after the spellcaster first, I think, if they're there. Yeah, the healer. Definitely want to. You didn't move, buddy. Got that one. There's that one. Who's next? Immaculate Knight. about to bite. Right on top of him. I don't know which direction to pull him away here. What if I move over here? There we go. Oh, hey Lily, welcome, welcome. I think we about got our class quest finished off here. Well, better get over. There we go, that got him. How'd you sleep last night? We won. Even seeing it and saying it, it hardly feels real. Oh, getting too hot to sleep. Ooh, yeah. Fortunately, it's still okay here, but yeah, I know what you mean. And what have we here? Huh? What's that you've got there? Wicked White. You're... You're Renda Ray. The real Renda Ray. I should have never betrayed your trust. Never again, I swore. Never again. Balam quits. The Shadow Keeper, the flood. Come what may, we would face it together, no matter how hard it got or how terrified I was. That's what it means to let someone into your heart, knowing full well that nothing lasts forever. To welcome the fear and the pain, the sorrow. When I lost my parents, when we laid the keeper low, you felt it too, didn't you? To place our faith in a desperate, hopeless attempt to save everyone, and to see it amount to naught in the end. What else could we do but offer up that tiny remainder in a final, futile effort? Even knowing deep down it was worth but a few moments more. What is this? You gave me fear, and that fear gave me strength. Wait, there's so much I want to ask. I don't understand. What was she talking about? It's not right. It's not fair. Heroes sacrificing themselves for nothing, becoming villains, being forgotten. Thank you, Anne. I could have never gotten this far without your help. I had no idea who Renderay or any of the other warriors of light truly were. 'Twas all ancient history to me. Why would I care who some eaters once were? I was no better than my parents, judging them out of hand, dismissing their sacrifice, not bothering to look deeper. It made it all the easier to pursue Andrea for my own amusement. I pray I've made up for it in part by helping to lay Renderay's soul to rest. Miss Olvara is probably worried sick about us both. We should return to Calusia and let her know we're all right. Right, so let's accompany him there. That's right, we can fly in Calusia now. Yay! My little Reek, Anne, congratulations on a job well done. And from one hunter to another, thank you for helping Renderay to achieve a measure of peace. She was a hero to me too, and it broke my heart to know what had become of her. To have your legacy tarnished so, to have the world call you villain even still. But at least I can take comfort in knowing she can finally enjoy a long rest. Whatever others may say, we will preserve the truth in story and song. Renderay, the bravest hunter there ever was, and, more importantly, a true friend to those she held dear. I can only hope to measure up to her example someday. For now, however, I say we return to the Crystarium and raise a glass in celebration. All right, Lurik. Andrea's bounty has been paid to us in full, my friend, so come, let us eat, drink, and be merry. I've been meaning to ask, Anne, but I have the impression you are rather more acquainted with these warriors of light than you've been letting on. What exactly do you know about them? That is so preposterous a tale that I have no choice but to assume it is true. Offering up their lives to first cross the rift, then to halt the flood. Wicked white. It must have taken her so much courage to see it through in those final moments. A courage born not of a desire for glory or dedication to an ideal, but of fear and love for those with whom she had forged unshakable bonds, her comrades. I won't pretend that we have anything even approaching such a powerful connection, but I would like to think that if you were in mortal peril that I would fly to your side without hesitation. Having said that, if I were tested as Renderay were, if I were challenged to offer up my life for others without even knowing if it would amount to aught, I doubt I could rise to the occasion. I am a child and a fool who knows little of the world. I have been coddled and spoiled and have only just tasted the bitter fruits of life that you and countless others sup on daily. You are made of sterner stuff, Anne, far sterner than me, and that is why I know I can never walk your path. No shame in that. Oh, but there is. I cannot recall a time I have felt happier and more alive than when I have traveled with you. But you have countless other journeys ahead of you, don't you? For you are destined for greater challenges, whereas I am suited to rather more pedestrian affairs. Know your limits, as Miss Olvara used to say. Meeting her again after all these years, seeing how much older and more frail she'd become, made me realize how little time together we have left. She shouldn't have to live out her days living alone and in squalor. I have decided it will not be so. I shall return to Calusia and attend to her needs, for I would do my utmost to repay the love and kindness that made me the man I am today. Therefore, though it pains me to say it, I fear this celebration must also mark the end, or at the very least a tentative suspension, of the glorious partnership that was Reek and Anne, bounty hunters extraordinaire. Should you ever find yourself in Calusia, however, do come and pay us a visit. Will do, Master Reek. Alright, got that. Alright, so next back over to the Amaro launch, and we'll get the story resuming here. Got our class quest all taken care of. Oh, just out of curiosity, let's see here. Cannot remember. As a dancer, that was the same quest the dancer would have done too. Yep. right, aspiring Amaro tamer. I'm here to see you. You require an Amaro. Just a moment, and I shall saddle our swiftest beast to fly you to the island. The open water? To the depths of the Tempest? Our Amaro can swim, yes, but to reach the ocean floor... Uh-oh, here we go.
Ah, we have found thee. Word reached us of thy recovery, and thus did we gather with all haste. Ah. By thy looks, I gather thou hast gleaned that which I came to tell thee.
Urianger has shared everything with us. The Exarch's true identity and purpose.
I offer no excuses. When I agreed to aid the Exarch with his plans, 'twas in full acceptance of the condemnation I would face when my duplicity was laid bare. Yet it is not rancor, but resolve that I sense in thee. Thou art fully intent upon walking thy path to its end, art thou not? If thou canst forgive my deception, or, failing that, set aside thy displeasure for a time, I do beg leave to follow thee. What strength and wisdom I possess are thine to command.
I forgive you. Let's go.
I thank thee. Doubt not but that I will do all in my power to repay thy kindness and fulfill the Exarch's wishes.
I'm sorry, but I don't think this is a good idea. Leaving the Crystarium, I mean, with or without Urianger. What I did for you won't last forever. There's no telling when the light will break free again. Please, you must stay here. At least for a little while longer. We will find a way to cure this, I promise you.
How can you make promises? We don't even know where to start.
Alize, please. You know Reen was only trying to help.
Of course I know! I know only too well! But making promises you have no way of keeping is not a kindness. It's a lie. Plain and simple. We've all searched high and low for an answer, and every one of us came back empty-handed. I am not about to stand in her way now. Not after failing her in her hour of need. No. The least we can do is...
We will go with you as well. There is naught to be gained by standing still.
Indeed, we have exhausted every other avenue. Lead, and we shall follow. If there is any hope to be found, then we will surely find it at your side.
Are we all in agreement then?
Is there aught we can do to help?
Though we may not know the whole story, we do know you're in for a fight. And while the Exarch's away, it falls to the rest of us to see the Warrior of Darkness is given a proper send-off.
You told them!
No! Well, not in so many words.
Aye, we didn't need it spelled out for us. When the night sky appeared over whichever place you went to, it was harder not to put two and two together.
From the moment I heard that you and the Exarch shared the homeland, I had my suspicions. Long had he been waiting for a certain someone to arrive. And I knew at once that it must be you.
Exactly. When he went up to meet you, it was clear it was no ordinary visitor. That spring in his step spoke volumes. I could feel his excitement.
Me too! That's right!
Yeah, yeah.
We do not fully understand where you or the Exarch hail from, or why you've all done so much to protect us. But we are deeply grateful nonetheless. So, if there is anything at all we might do to aid your journey, you need only name it. What would you have of us?
You might have invited them to join us, where they're not so many. But come, they are waiting. What is your will, O warrior of darkness?
Let me see. Here we go. Hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. All right. Thou didst plan to commandeer an Amaro for thy journey to the open sea. I fear the following dive down into Emet-Selch's underwater abode would drain even thy legendary stamina. Thus, during thy convalescence, we considered the most efficacious method for reaching the depths of the Tempest, and I believe we have arrived at an elegant solution. Yet, ere we discuss this step, I suggest thou dost conclude such pressing business as remains to thee in the Crystarium. Once the sea closeth above our heads, we are unlikely to surface again until our grand deed is done. All right, Lorianje. Thine affairs are in order, then I shall unfold to thee my proposal. Our destination is the ocean floor, yet our goal is not simply to arrive there. Nay, we must needs have the means to breathe and fight freely. Thus would I petition the aid of one of the Fae, a being with whom I have yet to meet face to face. Rather than waste words on explanation, I bid thee follow me unto the hamlet of Sullen, which lieth to the south and west. All will become abundantly clear, I promise thee. Okay. Let's see. Desynthesize those hard candies that I caught while waiting for that key the other day. Alright, off to Sullen. There, to the west, canst thou discern the hump of an isle rising above the water? That foliage-covered mass hideth the key to our safe descent. Swim close and plunge thee beneath the surface. Thou shalt soon divine the reason for mine insistence. Though it be much to my shame, I can but flail and flounder where thou mayest glide as a fish. I shall board a boat to the island and spare one and all the spectacle of mine inept strokes. So you're saying you can't swim, right, Brianjay? Two curved slabs of rock seem squeezed together here, giving the impression of giant stone eyelids. Though it appears solid enough, the rock yields slightly under your touch. Was the surface gently shifting, or was it just your imagination? Well, what hast thou discerned? It's just like the big one. Yes, yes. Ha! Thine impression is not inaccurate. According to the lore of the Pixies, we are, even now, perched upon the back of an ancient Fey entity. Its name is Bismarck. Aye, the self-same title by which we know the great feathered whale revered by the Vanu Vanu of the Source. I would enlist its aid to bear us unto the deep, and thence banish the water with an airy sphere, alike in form to the domes which do shelter the hamlets neath the ruby sea. Within its compass we may move unencumbered and defend ourselves when the hour of battle cometh, as it most surely shall. Now, I must needs ask for silence whilst I make my supplication.
Wir Sach, Bilan Bismail.
O great and serene Bismarck. Long has it been since my name was called. Why do you wake me, little neighbor?
Fallen si lor wislan, adas si alinal.
To the bottom of the western sea we go. Pray, lend us your back and your breath.
Van urs atslir, olfod thim, iri guath thi.
The world is in twilight. I wait for the sun to set. I wish only to sleep.
Oh dear. I don't need to speak Fey to know that didn't go well.
We need Feo-Ul.
Nay, Yak! You've learned to call me at last! And where do you go? On a trip? A journey? I knew you wouldn't give up without a fight. Oh, my precious mortal, I shall help you in any way I can. Gers Bismail win picked. Van dromi drom yakum.
Sleepy Bismarck, you old pixie. These are my precious, precious saplings.
Van Read Rithye.
Let their wish be the king's command. What a rare thing to awaken to. My beautiful king, if it be thy wish, then so shall it be done.
Be sure to scrub this one's teeth for him upon your return. It's only good manners.
It will be done, Your Majesty. Our deepest thanks for your timely intervention.
An agreement is reached and your departure is at hand. You wingless ones best hold on tight. May the blessings of the Fae keep you safe, Inba.
To the western sea we go. Wrapped in my breath, I will see you to your destination, little neighbors.
And just like that, it's all gone back to the way it was.
What was you expecting? 100 years of honey and rainbows? Seeing them Yulmore types wake up and smell the ashes was miracle enough for me.
Ah, the magic in the air when that ladder started moving. And when that great hulking Talos rose up. Gods. I could live 1,000 years and never behold anything so amazing.
Just wait a moment.
What the? Do you see that?
What a monster! Where did it even come from?
Tidal wave.
Oh, yeah! It's not stopping! Run! Run!
I have fulfilled my duty. I return now to the lake. I have not flown in an age. It was pleasant. May your journey be a safe one, little neighbors.
breath of Bismarck. See how it swells to form a dome beneath the waves? The waters recede. The tempest's floor is laid bare. In defiance of the blinding sky, this place holds fast to its gloom. The last refuge of he who denies the light with every fiber of his being. You stand at the precipice, hero. Journey unto the heart of darkness. Finish it.
Full glad am I that Bismarck was true to his word. We are arrived in the tempest, safe and dry. 'Tis here that we shall find the lair of Emet-Selch, and, I believe, the imprisoned Exarch as well. For an Ascian alone, it is of course a trifling matter to flee unto the rift, yet I suspect such travel is nigh impossible with a mortal in one's custody. Nay, he would not soon risk his prize when the Exarch's very body serveth as the key to the Crystal Tower and its powers of temporal transportation. Thus am I all but certain that this underwater realm harboreth our friend and enemy both. We have but to find them. Now, as for where we should be looking, I rather doubt Emet-Selch will be sitting around out in the open. I propose we follow the slope down towards the deeper trenches and keep an eye out for rock formations large enough to house a stronghold. Let's be off then, but watch your footing. The ground is still wet and like to be slippery. See here, get our check going here for ether currents. Southeast, the same direction we need to be going. That's convenient. And there it is. Next one's southwest for later. Oh, sea gelatin. I need those. Let's do that. That's all I need. That finishes off the 3-nut landmarks. I'm sure I'm mashing the button here. Come on, here we go. What about this thing up here? We'll need those. Is there anything else in this zone? Nope. No more hunt marks currently in this zone. Hey there, Ondo youth. surprised him, I guess. So 82. That one did, that's on my crossbar already. A converted skill, I think. Alright, well let's follow Ondo Youth down here and see what's going on. The finless ones! They followed me! Why have you come? Was it you who took away our water? Sorry about that. Ah, so this is where the Ondo make their home. I had worried. Pray forgive us any inconvenience we have caused. We were not aware your people lived here in the Tempest. We need this great dome of air that we might conduct a most urgent search and thus beg you for your understanding. Chieftain, what are we to do? Are you emissaries of the Ancient Ones? Yes, maybe? The mysteries have stirred. We have seen the illuminated and shining through the gloom of the abyss. If you are the emissaries, the chosen, I bid you welcome. If you are not, I bid you leave. I am not sure I understand. Would you be willing to elaborate? It would seem not. I suggest we withdraw for the moment. So, what's the plan? Given your condition, I'm reluctant to suggest lingering here. That said, our presently meandering search would proceed far more swiftly if we could call upon the Ondo's local knowledge. Yes, I'd like to know more about this illuminated land the chieftain spoke of. Could it be Emet-Selch's stronghold, do you suppose? Perhaps he lit the lanterns upon his return? We cannot dismiss the possibility, but if these Ondo refuse to speak with us... And do you remember my first scheme for entering Yulmore? How I had planned to ingratiate myself by offering lucrative trading opportunities with the Ondo? The individual I dealt with was reticent in manner and curious in custom, but we were able to reach an agreement nonetheless. I believe that with the right approach, we can build a similar relationship here. What kind of approach did you have in mind? That chieftain fellow didn't leave us many options. If we are to tread the swiftest course, then we must needs locate its beginning. 'Tis plain our all too dramatic arrival hath thrown this settlement into confusion. Were we to solve such problems as we have caused, and assure our hosts thereby that our purpose here is not inimical to them, they may yet provide amenable to reason. I smell chores, but very well, if it can be done quickly. What do you think? I've nothing better to offer, but I do worry what will happen if the Ondo's tales end up leading us to a dead end. I cannot say for certain, but I sense this tribe has a deeper connection to the Ascians than first meets the eye. It warrants further investigation. Thus, I cast my vote in favor of aiding the settlement for the time being. Well, let's do what we do best. Then it is settled. Y'shtola, pray, proceed with your investigations. The rest of us will see about fostering some goodwill. We better grab that aetheryte before we forget about it. And you won't believe who I've just bumped into. This is Posh Own, the very fellow I did business with prior to our ill-fated stay in Yulemoor. I waited, and you did not come. Then the Mistel came, but his visits did not continue. I am truly sorry, Posh Own. Things did not proceed as planned. Is there aught we can do for you by way of an apology? Perhaps. Where the dry return, the cavern to the north, is home to giant crabs. We do not fear the crab, for we are the swifter swimmers. But now there is no water. We run and they scuttle close behind, snipping and snapping with their claws. There are too many of them. Too many. Ah, I believe I can be of assistance there. And what of you, Anne? If you've not found a task, you are most welcome to join me. Indeed, I should appreciate the company, where the dry return has a rather ominous ring to it. Okay. See where this takes us then. Hey, Allie, thanks for the raid, appreciate it. Yeah, hey there. Hey folks, welcome in, welcome. We're doing Shadowbringers here. Wow, look at this. Thank you so much for bringing the friends back in here. Good to see you all again. How's it going with you? And how did that stream go, Allie? Those of you that are new, I appreciate you dropping in with Allie here. We certainly appreciate that. Let me get that shout out here. Hang on a sec. I appreciate everything that Allie and RKO have done for me here, bringing new friends to visit with me here. I'm Audible Zen. I do currently just doing 2 different games on Twitch this year, focusing on Final Fantasy XIV here. Yeah, this is number 14. It's online MMO. You get to adventure with friends if you like to. We're in Shadowbringers currently, which is, what would that be? That would be the, well, technically, I guess the 4th expansion. After 2.0 was the original. Yeah, so I guess about the fourth iteration there. But yeah, I've been doing this Final Fantasies on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays, and been playing Infinite Undiscovery on Wednesdays and Fridays, and we're starting a new Infinity mode run on Wednesday, and that ought to be a real challenge. So if you have free time, we'd love to have you visiting back here. But thank you all so much for dropping in. Yeah, if you get a chance to check out the game or have any questions about it, by all means, you know, just drop them here in the chat. I'll be happy to answer any questions you've got. But yeah, we play a little bit of music sometimes at the beginning of the stream and then get on with the games here. Catch up here and see what we got. Yeah, we'll be doing our thing. Okay, well, I'm glad you're watching. Let's see. Your stream went well? That's great. Yeah, it went way longer than you were expecting. Oh, okay. Well, I am happy you were able to rate us too and thought of me. So thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that. And look, you know, you guys just sit back, enjoy the stream, and if you've got any tips or suggestions or comments, by all means, just drop them down there in the chat. I'm not the most on top of things, but once I see the messages, I'll certainly respond. So you might need to give this old feller a moment or two to get his wits about him so that he can respond appropriately to your messages. But do the best I can here. Just happy to socialize and chat with everybody while we enjoy the game together. Well, thank you so much for coming in. We'll get progressing here on the game, but by all means, drop whatever you've got to say into the chat here. We're off to fight some crabs right now, I believe. What we've just done is we've flown this huge whale into the ocean, basically, and the whale has breathed out this huge breath of air to make an air pocket.
Devastation. This was not my intention.
That's right. Such devastation, man. We destroyed someone earlier in the stream too. We did it. It was awesome. But yeah, this whale breathe a giant bubble of air so we can breathe underwater here for a while, anyways, and we're off to fight some crabs to make up for the inconvenience we caused the underwater folk for doing that. Yeah, kill the crabs. That's right. Yeah, hooray for air bubbles. There they are. That's who we need right there. Let me get my bird out too. Let my bird fight with me here. They might get a little bit of experience for this as well. Of these, it looks like. Yeah, crustacean murder is a wonderful pastime. Indeed, you know, especially when you get something for it, huh? Far more exciting than baseball. Yeah, I suppose it is, at least for me anyways. Although baseball is my favorite sport. I do enjoy baseball a lot. But yeah, this is a little more exciting because it's interactive, for me anyways. Yeah, you're right. Baseball does have more downtime lull than crustacean murder. Absolutely. Be enough of those, and I will go grab this sightseeing spot to use my fisher for that. I think just to make sure they've got some experience. Look out! There we go. Another bis directed. So you do enjoy baseball, it just has more downtime. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, never seen a baseball game? Is it as boring as European football? I guess it depends on what you enjoy watching. It does move slowly. It is a fairly slow-moving game. But yeah, it could be considered boring to a lot of folks, I think. I enjoy watching it, and being from the Atlanta area, I've followed the Atlanta Braves, well, more closely in past years, I guess, but I guess in recent decades or so, I have not really paid too much attention to it. Oh yeah, ice hockey is very fast-paced, that's for sure. Although I guess I haven't really followed hockey much either. I haven't followed many sports, I guess, since I've gotten older here. And we'll just teleport back to the Hondo Cups here. Oh yeah. You have a favorite team, Allie? Oh yeah, that's true. Baseball really isn't much of a thing in Europe, is it? Enjoying most sports too, yeah. You could crack their shells. You must be stronger than you look. Yeah, some playing, some watching, mostly analyzing, and being a nerd about them. Sure, yeah. Oh, I see. Not necessarily. Grew up in San Diego. Oh, okay, Western Coast. Till about 3 years ago, the Padres. Oh, yeah. Don't really pick teams. Just there to watch the fun. I'm kind of the same way. Whenever I see a sporting match of any kind on TV, it's not like I have one that I'm necessarily rooting for or anything. It's just I enjoy watching the action and seeing the players do their thing. I see you've reached your quota first again. I shall never be your equal in such tasks. Still, I would say we have reduced the local crab population to a far less threatening number. My thanks to both of you. You must have a reward. Nay, Posh Own, this was to be a part of my apology to you, remember? Besides which, the lack of water is our doing, for which we must also make amends. Might I convince you to tell us something about your village instead? I would very much like to learn more of you and your people. Very well. Before the flood came, it is said that our ancestral home was found in the seas to the south. It was utterly destroyed by the light. Only those who were out hunting survived. They swam, aimless and lost, until they spied buildings here on the ocean floor. Oh, okay. Archeo got you interested into wrestling then. All right. Yeah, I've never gotten much into it myself, I suppose. You were shocked how enjoyable it is to watch. Yeah, I guess I used to watch more with my aunts and uncles. My parents never were into it much, but yeah, they used to watch it some, and I would watch it a little bit then. Strange buildings they were, and long had they stood under the water, yet somehow they had been spared the scars of time and current. These structures provided shelter for my people, protection from the tempest's turbulent waters and the predators which hunted within them. Their very existence seemed a miracle. The first settlers pondered their good fortune. It was clear that the race who had built such wonders had guided their course, and from this did they discern the truth. Germany is a football nation. Oh yeah, every 4 years, right. Yeah, you go crazy for the World Cup every 4 years. Yeah, it was awful when hosted in 2006. Oh, many sleepless nights because of hooting and howling fans everywhere. Ooh, that does sound like that would make it difficult. And the wrestling is very entertaining. Officially found some wrestlers that you root for now. Oh, and Jensch can tell us how big of a fan you are. And you've been a fan since childhood, Jensch. Nice to see new fans come into the fold. Oh, yeah. That's pretty cool. That the ancients had chosen us to serve as caretakers of their eternal sanctuary until such time as they returned. Thus, if it is judged that your coming and this great vanishing of water was by the ancients' design, you will find warm welcome here. A truly astonishing history, yet I cannot help but wonder, how will the significance or otherwise of our arrival be decided? The ancients have blessed us with protection and prosperity. If your presence serves to bring us the same, there will be no doubt in the matter. Then it would seem our earlier decision was the correct one. We thank you for the lesson, Pashaon, and will continue to do all we can to assist your people. Should you desire our help with any other trouble, pray, do not hesitate to ask. We should return to the task at hand, only do try not to overexert yourself, my friend. The risk far outweighs the gain. All right. And you know what, just in celebration of the raid, I want to just play a little music here too. That was so nice of you, Allie, to bring them over here for us. Let's see if we can just take a moment or two and put together some tunes here. Just enjoy ourselves a little bit. Let me see, pull up my my stuff here. Yeah, a little bit of music time here. Make sure I've got everything working right here. Oh, I need to turn off the sound here too. For the time being, we'll do that. Make it a little quieter so we can enjoy ourselves here. All right, let's see. Get my cup out of the way there. Oops. There we go. Yeah. Green Sleeves remix. That's what we got right there. All right. Well, let's get on back to the game then. Appreciate y'all hanging out here with me. I just love to pick around on the keyboard sometimes, so we do that from time to time. Get my camera changed back here. There we go. That ought to do it. I'm not able to sight read too. I mean, I can, but it's very slow. I did take piano for about, I don't know, what was it, about 6 or 7 years when I was younger. Was it even that long? Yeah, probably no more than 5 or 6 years, I guess. And I did have to sight read, of course, while I was doing that, but just kind of fell out of practice. I decided I wanted to play what was on the radio more than I wanted to practice what was given to me by the teacher. Yeah, I just play for fun now. Got a pretty decent music setup now in my later years, so I try to do some recording when I can and put together songs. I've got originals that I do too. I may break them out at some point also when I get things set up for that too. But yeah, I just really love playing, and sometimes just improvising. I'll spend time just playing whatever happens to come into my head at the time. Oh, it's my pleasure. I'm happy to be able to do this. Go back and catch up here on the some of the chat here. Oh yeah. Yeah, if you do find yourself interested in this particular game, it might be worthwhile getting into it. Oh, you too, Allie. You took lessons for about 4 years. Yeah, I think I started when I was like 8 years old and stopped when I was around 14 or so, from what I remember. Oh, really? You play Final Fantasy music now, too? Wow, that's great. I've not really tried learning a lot of Final Fantasy music myself, but yeah, that would be a fun thing to try. Well, music just fills my soul with joy, so I guess it's good that that kind of comes across then, and if it fills your soul with joy too, I'm happy that it does, because it's such an important part of my life. I don't often share that, I guess, with a lot of folks, but I'm happy that that y'all are here to enjoy it with me. Oh, we've got an ether current quest available to us too here. We'll need to pick that up as well. Oh yeah, yeah. Nobuo Uematsu. Yeah, the music that they create. Oh man. Yeah, this game does have a lot of really, really good music in it. It is really, really nice. Ah, Anne, have you learned aught of note? Fascinating, and precisely the sort of information I was hoping to hear. In fact, if you have a moment, I'd like to borrow your eyes to confirm a theory I've been working on. Come. We got a few things to tag here now. Trade my goods for your bicolor gemstones? I suppose I could, or rather should. That's what I'm here for. And I don't have any gemstones yet. Hail, Finless One, and welcome to the Cups. Long have I wanted to converse with one of your kind. I am called Narash Cole, how may I address you? An adventurer. Curious. Before we speak at length, there is something I would show to you. Let us leave behind the cups and head due west. Come. Well, Lishtola and you both want me to follow you. Okay. Let's go do the Ether Current quest first then. These are relics of your kind, yes? The leavings of a ship that sailed the seas above long, long ago? They lie as they fell, untouched by any Ondo, for most have little interest in the affairs of the Finless. I, however, do. Ever since I was saved by one of yours after being washed ashore, weary and near death. Such kindness is a rare and wonderful thing, and I would know more of the people who showed it to me. And so I ask you, an adventurer, to teach me of your ways. These objects, for example, what purpose do they serve? How are they to be used? Oh, Allie, I meant to ask, did I get the achievements needed for Infinite Undiscovery yet? Oh, yeah, I haven't got the compulsive achievement. We're going to work on that through our Infinity Mode playthrough. Yesterday I unlocked, I think, 4 achievements. The VODs, the videos on demand are still out there if you just want to fast forward through them and check it out or anything. But there, I did the vermification. All your 9 party members have to turn to vermiforms, so we did that one. We also used the mine cart in the Bihar mines to destroy enough lumpers to pop that achievement. And we had to connect with every one of our party members too. That was one. And then the big one last night, or yesterday, I guess, was before dinner time for me anyways, was accumulating 100 million gold, or 100 million foal, I guess they call it in the game. So we got those 4 achievements done yesterday. In our Infinity Mode playthrough, we'll be going for the compulsive achievement again, and hope we do that one right. We've got to beat the final boss in the Seraphic Gate on Infinity Mode for another achievement. And then there's one where we just have to do enough what they call down strikes. You know, you can air the opponent sometimes, you can just hit them normally, or you can smack them down on the ground and hit them a number of times that way too. We've got to complete a down combo of at least 20, I think, to pop an achievement there. But it's just those 3 achievements we've got to get in the Infinity Mode playthrough. So I hope we'll be able to do it. If I do everything straightforward and follow my checklist all the way through now from the very beginning this time, I hope we'll be able to at least get the compulsive achievement for that. It's a fun game. I just feel determined. If there's a game where I can get all the achievements, there's nothing that I have to do that is practically impossible for me anyways, then I love to go for it and see if I can 100% the game like that. There are some games where, let me just pop over here for a sec. Yeah, some games that require like crazy dexterity, for me anyways. I'm thinking of an example. I tried playing, what was it, Tales of Vesperia a while back, and there's other games like this too. I figured, okay, well, let's see if we can 100% this game and get all the achievements. But as it turns out, there's a snowboarding mini game that you have to play in that one, and I mean, you've got to be able to maneuver yourself on a split second, or memorize the course correctly and everything. And I could not pass the higher levels of the snowboarding mini game. And unfortunately, some achievements are tied to being able to do that snowboarding game, and I just can't do it. I mean, I just can't do it. It's been impossible for me to succeed in that mini game, so I just gave up on that one, because the sad part is it's not just completing the snowboarding mini game. Other achievements are locked behind getting that accomplished. So there's more than one achievement that I can't get just because I can't do the snowboard mini game. So games like that, I just lose interest in going for achievements on. And I wish I was better, but my reflexes are just not that good, and I'm not able to do those. Yeah, they can be a little rough. Yeah, I don't typically do savage rating in this game either, Lily. I mean, maybe I could nowadays, because I mean the patterns and learning what you got to do is a little more manageable to me, and at least if it's something I just have to look at as far as what the boss is currently, what they're telegraphing for their next move, and keeping out of the puddles of orange. I'm not too bad at that now, especially since I have a good connection here. Where I got frustrated the most trying like extreme and savage mode content before was when I was using a character that was on a server halfway around the world. Like, for example, when I was teaching overseas in Asia, I might have a character here in the States, and I was trying to play on that, and the connection, of course, is always poor in those cases. So you get just that little bit of lag where, oh, I'm sure I moved out in time, but no, you didn't. The game says, no, you didn't. So it's like, well, that was kind of frustrating too. You're sort of the same way, Allie? Giving up on so many platinums just for that reason? Yeah, there's a few of them. So I plan to be focusing on those kinds of games, for me anyways, where I can at least have a chance of completing some of the trophies and the achievements on those. I'm just trying to think of what I'll do after I finish with Infinite Undiscovery and get through with this Final Fantasy XIV playthrough also. I may keep Final Fantasy as at least one of the games I stream. There's so many of them in there I enjoy playing too, and then pick some other Tri-Ace games perhaps after Infinite Undiscovery. There's Star Ocean, there's Valkyrie Profile. There's one I'm playing now on another account on PlayStation called Exist Archive. I mentioned that one in the stream briefly last night. I didn't even realize that was a Tri-Ace game until I picked it up. It plays a lot like the older Valkyrie Profile games a lot. And even Radiata Stories, which I had absolutely no clue, an old PS2 game that does not have any trophies attached to it. It's just played on original hardware, but it was a Tri-Ace game as well from what I was reading about that. So yeah, I've got quite a few of those I might try as well on stream. But we'll see where the mood takes me, once I get done with the ones I'm working on now. All right, well, let's get back to this then. See what we're doing here. Yeah, we got to tell him what these objects are all about, it looks like. He gestures to some nearby debris and wants us to inspect them closely and offer up a detailed explanation. Oh, very similar to you. Well, yeah, well, it's good to find kindred souls in in regards to these sorts of things, Allie. Yeah, I'm happy that you did find me too. This has been really fun. Yeah, you and RKO both. It's been fun chatting with you guys and hanging out with you. Oh, what have we got here? There's one pile of rotting debris here. Among the debris, you spy what appears to be the remnants of several shattered bottles of wine. Such fragile containers they were. I suspect they once contained something of great value. What can you tell me of their purpose? Let's see. Yeah, they were used as makeshift weapons, first to bludgeon, then to stab. That's what we use bottles for. Ah, how versatile. Ondo, too, often utilized simple objects as tools. Stone and bone and such. Our peoples are not so different. I feel bad leading him astray, but it's more fun this way. Among the debris, you spy what appears to be a rotting ship's wheel. That was carved from the wood from one of your many trees, yes? What purpose does this particular contraption serve? Oh, it's definitely fashion. You wear it on your head. I see, I see. That possibility I had not considered. A pity that this material so quickly degrades when immersed in water. I should have liked to wear one myself. Thank you, An Adventurer. In our short time together, you have already taught me so much. A pity that none of these pearls of wisdom will serve my needs. All right, gotta head off, of course. Yeah, of course. I hope you have a good night's rest there, Allie. Been awake, so yeah. Wrap up your night. Yeah, hope to see you again soon also. No problem. Hey, no apologies needed at all. You've been busy, and I appreciate you taking the time you have taken to be here with me today. And thank you for bringing your friends in here and some folks that I've seen in the past as well. Thank you all for hanging out here. Take care of yourself there, and hope you have a good rest, Allie. Narash, what are you thinking wandering off on your own with this finless one? This is no time for you to fiddle with their leavings. The Clutch Mother is in terrible distress. No, you do not understand. I brought her here to... Pray, forgive this child his impudence. I am Zerosh Own, and on behalf of the Clutch Mother, I come to entreat your assistance. Pray forgive this child his impudence. Oh, I already said that. It seems you do not realize that in driving back the waters of the Tempest, you have placed our beloved Clutch Mother, leader of the Ondo, in mortal peril. She is pregnant. Here in the depths, she will give birth to many, many eggs. We male Ondo will then take them into our care and raise them as our own. But absent the flowing waters, we know not if she will be able to deliver them safely. If not, the future of our people will be in jeopardy. Man, that kind of sucks. The flood of light claimed many Ondo lives. Though we have rebuilt our numbers somewhat in the decades since, it would be devastating to lose an entire generation, or worse, the Clutch Mother herself. Yeah, we caused some big problems making this pocket of air under the water here. She wishes to speak with you directly, that we might together find a solution to this dilemma. Will you return with me to the cups? Yes, the least I can do. Narash, come. I will not let you trouble our guest or the Clutch Mother further. Everything I have done for her. Here they are. Beyond this gate resides the Clutch Mother. Approach and hearken to her words. Honored guest, I, Clutch Mother of Ondo, do bid you welcome to our realm. You will forgive me for receiving you in this fashion. For the safety and well-being of my children unborn, I must remain within, away from the dangers without. As you know, under normal circumstances, this place would be filled with blessed water, from which I would draw strength and support to bring these eggs into this world. Alas, I am but half submerged now, and I fear for my ability to fulfill my sacred duty. I am given to understand you and yours are the ones responsible for drawing back the waters of our realm. With good reason, I am sure. However, it is my sincere hope that you will agree to aid us, given that you are responsible for this state of affairs. Fear not, I desire no direct assistance. Rather, I would beg a boon of your people's knowledge, of childbirth, and how the finless ones ease the burdens of their struggling mothers. Zerosh Own will be my agent in this matter. Heed his words and answer his questions. This is all that I ask. Do you consent? I consent. I thank you, honored guest. Go well. Then it is agreed. However, I must consult with her attendants before we speak further. For now, I bid you and Narash Cole go about your business, but be ready if called upon. Wait, an adventurer. Have you a moment to converse in private? Outside the cups, please. And where might you be here? Outside the cups, you said. Tis a rare thing indeed to be granted an audience with the Clutch Mother. I hope this serves to help you understand how important these eggs are to us. Before you came to the cups, I had been searching for a means to assist her in giving birth. That is why I have been studying the relics of your people. Unfortunately, I found nothing that seemed suitable for this purpose. I cannot stress to you enough how important she is to us. She is mother to all Ondo. Her every egg brother and sister. We would do anything and everything to welcome them into this world and see them grow into healthy, happy Ondo. There must be some way in which you can help us to achieve this end. There might be, but we will continue our story at this point. Now, there are two tasks I would have you perform. The first requires you to inspect the buildings which surround the Ondo settlement and note their most distinctive characteristics. For the second, I wish you to use this knife to take scrapings from one of the remnant walls. Pray, be as thorough as you can. I shall be waiting here for the results of your investigations. Now let's go grab this one down here first. Use a mithril knife. You set the point of the knife against the wall, but even after applying considerable pressure, you cannot remove so much as a flake of stone. That is some hard stuff. And I need to inspect the structures for some key features. Alright, let's look and see what we can find here. Try to zoom in a little bit here. There we go. A distinctive window. How about that? The tall, slender towers feature many elaborate windows, the likes of which you have seen nowhere else. And what have you discovered? Yes, I would agree that the windows are most distinctive. It would seem the structures appear the same to both your sight and mine. And you say you could not so much as scratch the wall, even with all your might behind the blade? And everywhere I turn in this place, my gaze is drawn by peculiar materials for which I do not have a name. The buildings I had you investigate are prime examples. They may appear to be constructed of ordinary stone, but I assure you it is nothing of the sort. If pressed, I would describe the substance as a composite of several mineral properties, blended to create a material of unparalleled durability. Even the Ronkan Empire, once the greatest power in Norvrandt, produced nothing which compares to this level of perfection. But if not the Ronkans, then who? Who were these ancients the Ondo claim as the architects of their sanctuary? I suspect our answer lies with the reason Emet-Selch withdrew here to the Tempest. He may simply have wished to retreat somewhere mere mortals would struggle to reach, but there are many such remote locations. Why here specifically? Good question. Emet-Selch is devoted to his role, and thus we might assume his choice of strongholds somehow serves the Ascian agenda. Or mayhap, 'tis a place more dear to him than any other. Are you saying this was built by ancient Ascians? That is my theory, that these structures are remnants of a time before history, of a star that was yet whole and unbroken. Such traces in the source would have been obliterated by the succession of umbral calamities, but here in the first, they might have remained untouched for millennia. A copy of the mural in the Katana Ravel, Almet presented it to me during my visit to Fanau after our victory in Calusia. Here, in the first scene, by Emet-Selch's own words, it depicts a city of eons past and the disaster which befell it. The design is much simplified, of course, but do you see the similarities between its towers and those you have just inspected? Ah, yes, I do. We are close to the truth, I feel. Let us search the surrounds for another tower, one which matches the picture near enough to remove all doubt. From what I have seen, not more than sand and more sand lies to the east, and the south held no such structures. I suggest we try our luck further to the northwest. And I can view the Katana Ravel mural anytime during this quest by using the relevant item in my key items. And this quest destination will not be displayed on my map. I have to search for it by myself. Well, they did say northwest, so we'll start in that direction then. There's an ether current right here nearby. Somewhere. Oh, there it is down there. Oh, that's a survey point. That's where we need to be. How convenient of them to put an ether current here where we have to be. We pop that up and compare it. This could be it. Aye, this is the mural writ large. Though I cannot guess at its purpose, it must have been an imposing sight. How much of the tower's height lies hidden beneath the ground, I wonder? Centuries of our history have settled upon such ruins, countless layers of dust and sediment. An entire civilization, its existence forgotten by all except a handful of Ascians. And yet, it did exist. They lived here, in this city. But let us focus on what we've learned thus far. The Ondo chieftain spoke of mysteries stirring, of a land illuminated. Judging by his words, he believes this phenomenon related to the ancients' return. Thus can we surmise that what the Ondo saw shining in the abyss was, in all likelihood, yet another remnant of this age-old civilization. And who else would light the lanterns, as Reen put it, than Emet-Selch himself? 'Tis almost certain he is there. But if we are to find this stronghold in a timely manner, it seems gaining the Ondo's trust remains our swiftest path forward. I only hope our deeds are enough to win them over. Thank you for assisting me with my investigations. I shall seek out our companions and share what we have learned. Much as I would like to tell you to sit down and leave the rest to us, your condition demands that we make all reasonable haste. If you are not too weary, it may be useful to speak with Posh Own again and ask if there is aught else he is willing to divulge. And I will port on over to speak with Posh Own then. Ah, Alpino's friend. You and your companions have done much to repair the damage caused when the waters parted. Anything else you can do? Have you been to the walls of the Forgotten? Are they the ruins to the northwest? Yes, that is the sacred site of which I speak. Could it be that your footsteps were guided there by the ancients? I believe it may be so. Listen then, and I will tell you of our plans to bring light to the walls, that we might answer the shining call of the illuminated land. We have requested a finless craftsman to shape for us a sacred lamp. He is odd for a land dweller, choosing as he does to live in the ocean, but his skill is beyond question. It is concerning, however, that we have heard nothing of his progress. If you were to visit this artisan and return with our long-awaited light, then any doubt as to your purpose would be laid to rest. His name is Grenold. You will find his workshop in a metal structure to the south. Yes, I've been waiting to visit Grenold. Somebody else mentioned him earlier in the story. Well, that looks like an unnatural abode down there. It happens to be in the direction of our quest pointer. Hey, thanks for the automatic door opening. Yo, Grenold. Oh, that's just great, that is. Me mind's playing tricks on me now. Look, Grenold, someone's come to visit ye at the bottom of the bleeding ocean. Or might be as you're a ghost, eh? Go on, foul shade, feast yourself on me, rotten soul. Got no use for it. Craftsman what can't craft is more pointless than a sea slug with a Doman hammer. And that's an insult to bloody sea slugs. He appears to be suffering from a crushing bout of self-doubt. Yeah, no kidding. Maybe you can help psych him up. Well, I will do a psych then. Let's psych him up. Psych. Yeah, come on, Grenold. Eh? You wouldn't be trying to raise me spirits now, would you, spirit? Not what you'd expect from a servant of the netherworld. Has it really come to this? What's that supposed to mean? Not impressed with what you see, lass? Aye, well, I may have let myself go a bit. This was meant to be me underwater sanctuary, a place where I could concentrate on my work, far from distractions of the outside world. And yet, here you stand. Now, what's so damned important that you dive all the way down to the bottom of the bleeding tempest to bother me? Well, the Ondos say you've got a lamp you're supposed to make. Ah, the Ondo's lamp. Gods, curse me, empty head. I've not so much as made a start. I'm worth less than a sea slug. Nay, the slime left by a sea slug. Me delivery dates long past, me workbench is untouched, and I call myself a bleeding artisan. You've heard their beliefs, have you? Bringing light to them ruins will be an act of deep religious and cultural significance. And it was my privilege as a craftsman to be tasked with providing a ritual instrument worthy of the occasion. But I just can't bloody well... me mind's a bleeding blank. It's like I pissed away me last drop of inspiration. Tell me you've got summit to show me. Summit as'll give me muse a might good kick up the arse. The Ondo want to honor the coming of these ancients, so their answering lights got to blaze with the right kind of brightness. Like the spark of life caught in a crystal. But just being sparkly's not enough. It's got to dance with joy and sorrow and a sense of hardship endured. You know what I mean? Our thoughts turned to Renda Ray and the crystal we discovered at the end of her journey. Maybe Grenold could find inspiration in that. That's right. So that's why we had to complete our class quest, so we could tell him about it. Present something inspiring to Grenold. I've let the Ondo down, aye, but more than that, I've let myself down. Might as well go back to mending kettles. Yeah, I'll show him a crystal which once belonged to one of Ardbert's companions. Check this out, bud. What's that you've got there? Such striking beauty. It shines with heartache and laughter and the transience of life, like the turmoil of history made manifest. Aye, I can see the brilliance of the crystal's legacy. Ah, you'd never capture such a gleam, not if you labored 100 years. But bugger me if I don't mean to try. Where are me tools, gods damn ye? I must set to work before the feeling fades. Well, good on you, Grenold. The illuminated lamp. I can feel it, a vision forming in me mind. Step aside, lass, and let me itching hands get to work. And done. I've taken the wonders that crystal showed me and channeled them into a new shape what befits the Ondo's spiritual character. Whoa, I don't think I can put that in my back pocket. Not a bad job if I do say so myself. And to think, I was this close to hanging up me hammer after studying the craft of them ancients. I've been across the length and breadth of Norvrandt and gobbled up every scrap of craft and wisdom what I could find. But no matter which technique I tried, me work was just no comparison. I couldn't even figure out how they put them damn buildings together. A mystery for the ages. That's what drew me here in the first place. I built me workshop, got the forges burning, then lost me bleeding will to craft. Thank the gods for that crystal of yours, or I might never have gotten it back. I won't pry into your business, but I reckon your little miracle there has been through the kind of journey they sing songs about. The echoes of the memory it holds just speak directly to your heart. Aye, I can still feel them coursing through me. The inspiration's not fading away, it's welling up stronger and stronger. Give me the chance, and I reckon I can weave the crystal saga into other things as well. But bugger me, I'd almost forgot the Ondo's commission. If you could drag that lamp over to Tolsh Oth for me, I'll stay here and dream up new armaments for you to try. Sounds good. Leave it up to me. I now have access to his forge. And I've completed the role quest so I can get some new gear. Let's see if my armory chest is anywhere near full here. Looks like we've got enough spaces. Yeah, let's get some physical DPS gear. This will be a nice bump. What's that? Oh, I can get it for Dancer too. That's cool. Well, cool. Get all of them. Make sure Dancer's geared up as well as Reaper. Here we go. And let's see, this is eye level 401 currently. And that'll bump us up to 412. Let's go ahead and switch over to Dancer and get geared up on that. Up to 410. That's cool. Alright, so we got to deliver this back to Tolch Oth. What is that you have there? I have Grenold's lamp. Don't know how I put it in my back pocket, but here it is. The sacred lamp! Then the Finless One has kept his promise. My people tell me of the many deeds you have performed in the name of aiding the cups, and now you come to me bearing the light we had almost surrendered hope of ever seeing. We can doubt your purity no longer. Your arrival was the will of the ancients. Yes, the time for fear has passed. We shall take the lamp and unveil its austere illumination upon the walls of the Forgotten. Gather there with your companions, and we shall speak again once our prayers have been offered.
O stewards of the Ondo, we offer up our light in answer.
That crystal you showed the artisan. Was it... Did it belong to one of my friends?
Missed that part, did you?
I tried to give you a measure of privacy. No one wants a spirit looking over their shoulder every moment of the day. So tell me, if you would, how did you come across that crystal? It was render raised then. Strange that I should learn such things now, after they're long gone. They were fine friends, every one of them. I didn't expect death to teach me so much. About them, about Seto, about you, about the hope that hides at the heart of this world. I've never been one for idle chit-chat, but if by some miracle I could see them all again, I doubt I would ever stop talking. I'm grateful I got to bend your ear at least. And just for that, I reckon I'll stick with you to the very end.
Apologies, we were a little late to the gathering.
It seems we succeeded in gaining their trust.
The delay wasn't exactly welcome, but at least our many hands made light work. And they seemed especially impressed with your contribution. Our hero indeed.
Y'shtola was telling us those structures may date back to the age of the Ascians.
An Ascian homeland. Despite his many protestations, I never quite believed Emet-Selch was telling the truth.
Nor I. But there is no denying the evidence before our eyes. Clearly this was once a great city. A home they would see restored, no matter how many tens of thousands of years it takes.
It's a hollow dream when you think about it. Even if they manage to rejoin all the worlds, they'll never bring back the ones who were lost. But would I have done any different?
How are you feeling?
You have completed your devotions?
Yes. To the honored ancients have we offered up our prayers and our gratitude. You too have our thanks.
Might we trouble thee then to tell us more of the illuminated land of which thou didst lately speak?
To the west of here lies a great trench. Some days ago, a light appeared in that endless darkness. Curious, we ventured closer and discovered in the depths an entire city. The buildings we spied were akin to our own everlasting abodes, impossibly so. We understood at once the ancients had risen. There could be no doubt. Taken with terror, we retreated to the cups, and I decreed that none should enter the trench until such time as we received a sign.
Might it still be possible to reach this city of the ancients?
With no water to drown you, a finless one could now travel there. Yes. I am convinced you are the sign for which we have been waiting. My people will show you the way.
Shall we?
Let's see, no more ether current quests popped up yet. The chieftain has bid me guide your steps to the illuminated land. Come, the way lies downward. Follow the path of coral and rock and join your comrades below. Right. Downward we go. there's an ether current over there. All are gathered, yes? Then I shall describe the path you must take. Enter the cavern beyond and follow the wall down and down and down. Once at the bottom, find a passage to the northwest, then continue west and west and west. The way is not simple. Keep your friends within shouting distance and do not stray into the deep. And you're going to interrupt me, maybe. Are you? It says I'm dodging. That could be handy. Alright. Well, that's kind of annoying. We'll try again. Alright, now leave me alone. Just before the journey's end, you will find the Caliban Gap and the barrier we placed at its mouth. This obstacle will fade should you raise a hand towards it. We have made it so. A most succinct explanation. We thank you for your guidance. Right, deeper into the depths we go. And that was nice for all of them just to stand around while I was getting attacked. Our guide bade us travel to the cavern floor and thence to the west. Yet, 'twould seem these twisting tunnels defy such simple instruction. Rather than rely on direction alone, I suggest we scout with care and relay the path ahead to those who come behind. Ah, Anne, you have a choice of two routes from here. You can either take the long way to the south along the rocks, or skip along this coral branch as Alice has done. I, for one, shall be following my sister's example. I might as well too, I guess. I see you made it safely, Alphino. There you are. Come on, I think I found the tunnel we were looking for. Awesome. Good job, Allison. Here, this must be the barrier the Ondo spoke of. Well, that was rather more arduous than expected. I feel a sudden rush of gratitude for the smooth roads our ancestors cut through the wilderness. 'Twas a treacherous path indeed. Now, I believe one of us needs but raise a hand to banish this next obstacle. Anne, I elect you to do the honors. Gone, just like that. I suppose we should head in. Like as not, this tunnel will be just as perilous as the road we walked to get here. Let's all stay aware of our surroundings, shall we? Looks like I have to mess with some holes here. Get our bird out. Let them fight too. Get some experience for the chokehold. Is everybody done? Let's see how much of this we can ignore. There we go. How's our chocobo doing now? Oh yeah, he's making good progress to the next rank.
By the gods!
When the Ondo spoke of a city, I did not think they meant an actual city.
Then we are seeing the same view. The remnants in the Ondo settlement were solid, material structures. But these... everything here pulses with ether. 'Tis an enchantment on a monumental scale.
And did you note the style of the architecture? 'Tis the same used for the remnants at the cups and the murals painted towers. Oh yeah, this music. I do like this music too, Lily. Look closely. Emet-Selch has not simply reclaimed these ruins. He has layered the semblance of an entire city upon them. Gods, the magnitude of his artifice is staggering. Though it pains me to admit, we did not fully understand the feats of which an old-world Ascian is capable. That is true. Let's see, I will get, I guess, skill speed. It's intimidating, yes, but we have to start somewhere. Why don't we have a closer look at that tower to the southeast? We might be able to reach it from the edge of the trench. There's an ether current down there. I think that's the last of our outdoor ether currents. Yep, that's it for the outdoor ones. Look at the size of those doors. Now I know how pixies must feel. An adventurer recognized. Welcome to the city of Avert. Will you be riding the lift? What? Did the building just welcome you? Mayhap it is not so passing strange. Did Emet-Selch not invite Anne to visit his abode? 'Tis plain thy coming was expected. And where will this lift be taking us? The lift services every level of Akora Heights, but is presently configured to convey passengers directly to the ground floor. Well, there you have it. In the absence of some few hundred yalms of rope, we have little choice but to accept the offer. With emphasis on the we. I'm not about to let you walk into that place alone. Ground floor, now. As you wish, the lift will arrive shortly. Next stop, ground floor. Facilities include the Bureau of the Administrator, the Bureau of the Architect, and the Capitol. It's only at this distance that you start to realize just how big the buildings truly are. What did that voice call the city? Amarat? Look, over there. Is that a person? Ah, no, my mistake. That's a giant. It doesn't seem to have noticed us yet. Giant or no, a resident of this place may have much and more to tell us. I say we make the first move. Alphanode, you can't just... Pray, excuse my boldness, but might I ask you a few questions? Oh, what adorable costumes. Are you children on an excursion? This district has much to teach you. How odd. That sounded like no language I've ever heard, and yet I understood every word. Just as he understood us. And which district is this exactly? You must be lost, poor things. You stand in the Polylaritide district, wherein lie the institutions most vital to the management of our star. Can you tell us where to find Emet-Selch? Ah, I see. You've come to marvel at the workings of the Convocation of 14. Hardly surprising, I suppose. The whole world holds its breath as the final days draw near, and our brightest minds race to implement their plans. Thus, you must understand that gaining an audience at this time will be next to impossible. You should hurry home now, before your families begin to worry. Do you need me to walk you back? No, thank you. We will be fine. Very well. Take care, little ones. What was that all about? To my eyes, these people appear as arcane entities. I suspect Emet-Selch wove them from ether, much as he reconstructed the rest of the city. The final days. Such words well befit the oblivion described to us by our Ascian foe. A catastrophe of unprecedented scale which did set in motion the summoning of Zodiark, and thence Heidelin herself. But that happened centuries and centuries ago, didn't it? That man spoke as if they were rushing to avert a disaster here and now. Unless, for these people, the distant past is the here and now. I believe thou hast the right of it, Master Alphino. This ethereal Amarat and its residents appear to be phantoms of a different age. Emet-Selch hath resurrected a memory, a moment in time from before the star was sundered. So, we find ourselves in a long-destroyed city, inhabited by the long-departed. An unusual situation, to be sure, but at least we're able to parley with these ancients. In fact, they seem downright eager to chat. I say we use this to our advantage. Split up, strike up some conversations, and see if we can't learn the location of our quarry. And while we're at it, it wouldn't hurt to wheedle out a few more details regarding this convocation of 14 and their impending disaster. Good call, Thancred. To mingling then. Let's meet back here when our jaws start aching. Twould seem the hall is host to a most precocious visitor this day. And what, pray tell, shall be the subject of our discussion, young one? Ah, the convocation and their handling of the coming peril. 'Tis only natural that you should have questions. Shall we begin with the members themselves? As all know, the 14 are the wisest and most puissant among us. They are the stewards of order, responsible for decisions which keep this star turning season after season. Be it the speaker, La Habrea, or the emissary, Elidibus, each seat is occupied by an elected sage of surpassing intellect. Logrif, Mitron, Emet-Selch, their individual titles have, as a gesture of respect and a matter of tradition, become synonymous with their incumbents. Thus it is with great incredulity that I greet this recent rumor that a seat in the convocation is soon to be left vacant. If proven true, 'twould be an unprecedented development, and testament to the immense pressure under which our saviors are toiling. In any event, I for one am confident they shall deliver our star unto salvation. Good gracious, child, where is your family? You should not be alone at a time like this. Run along home, quickly now. Have you not heard? Though yet confined to the lands across the sea, a terrible phenomenon afflicts our star. They are calling it the final days. 'Tis said it starts suddenly, a cacophonous keening from beneath the earth. The sound distorts all living things within earshot and wrests from us control of our creation magics. Once that happens, all is lost. Fear, pain, despair, every dread impulse is siphoned from our minds and given substance. An eternal fall of fiery rain, an incessant spawning of nightmarish beasts. None can point to the source of the phenomenon. 'Tis as if the star itself has fallen ill, as if a force inimical, there's that word again, inimical to life now festers and spreads. 'Tis only a matter of time until Amarot too resounds to that discordant squall. You should stay with your loved ones, child. Stay with them. Audience with Emet-Selch? I'm afraid you have the wrong office, little one, and besides, he will be far too busy to field the questions of curious children. Surely you have been told of the looming catastrophe. Every resource available to the convocation must be spent upon ensuring our world survives. They have yet to make an official announcement, but it is said the 14 are moving forward with a plan of scarce credible proportions, one which promises to grant will to the very star itself. They will invoke our mightiest spells of creation to birth an entity of all-encompassing magnificence, and then they will rewrite the laws of existence. 'Tis a huge undertaking, and it must be completed ere the corruption spreads this far. Thus, I say to you again, do not hold out hope for an audience. And if I was not certain before, then I am now. The people of this city believe they face the end of the world. I cannot imagine what purpose compelled Emet-Selch to recreate this ancient Amarot. And yet, I fancy I hear his words to us echoing throughout this ocean trench. He would have his story known. I tend to agree with you. Ah, good. And ether current. We can compare notes once the others return. Hopefully then our next move will become clear. It would seem our conversations were much alike. A looming disaster, creation magics running rampant, and this convocation's efforts to bring salvation out of chaos. I suppose there was talk of little else in the time when these events came to pass. Ah, Urianger, if I may. What are your thoughts on the ancients' art of creation? A fascinating discipline indeed. Aught the mind can conceive may be rendered in reality. All that is required is a clear concept upon which to focus one's will. 'Tis not dissimilar to the primal rites taught by the Ascians, wherein ritual ceremony breatheth life into figments of myth and legend. I see we arrived at the same conclusion then. The people who lived in the age before the Sundering were blessed with vast reserves of mana. No matter how draining these creation magics must be, it seems they paid the cost with not more than a fraction of the ether which coursed through their own bodies. If we were to attempt the same, such spells would soon deplete our energies and then seek to draw the balance from elsewhere, from a hoard of crystals mayhap, or from the very land itself. Thus, when this art of creation was placed into our hands, it became, in effect, a means for destruction. An interesting matter which no doubt bears further study, but despite all these revelations, I worry we are no closer to finding Emet-Selch. Has anyone learned aught which might lead us to his location? Not directly, mayhap, but from what we've heard, it seems the convocation of 14 is sequestered in the nearby Capitol building. When we went to see for ourselves, the attendant wouldn't let us through without a writ of permission. So we tried our luck at the Bureau of the Administrator, where we thought these permissions might be issued, but the clerk there said he couldn't help us since our names didn't appear in the registry. And that was where we gave up. I wonder though, Anne, could you be eligible for one of these writs? The voice in the lift seemed to know who you were. It might be that your name is registered in the Bureau as well. Worth a look, I'd say. Meanwhile, I'll head back to the Capitol and search for a less official point of entry, just in case. Pray, allow me to accompany thee on thy reconnaissance. An arcane perspective may prove needful. I think I'd like to speak with more of these ancients. Maybe they know something that could help cure Anne's condition. Would you mind coming with me? Of course I don't mind. Just lead the way. Then Ishtola and I will busy ourselves with further exploration. There is surely more intelligence to be had. And so we part ways once more. This time, however, let us reconvene in front of the Capitol. And we've got ether current quests popped up here as well. I must say, little one, those garments you're wearing, they are your own original concepts, I take it? Clearly they must be, given their rather singular flamboyance. I would never dream of stifling a fledgling creator's creativity, but to parade about in your cultivated individuality is hardly praiseworthy. An Amaratine of character shares their creations with the community. They do not hoard them for their use alone. To delight in disparity is a mark of the morally deficient. Disparity engenders feelings of want and resentment, which degrade the bonds of fellowship. Thus do we encourage creators to share and share alike, else we risk kindling the embers of covetousness and violence that ever smolder in the hearts of all. Therefore, I must implore you, little one, to cast aside your original trappings and don the communal robes, that you might acquit yourself as an equal among many. In so doing, you will be afforded greater respect and autonomy. Worry not, for this will be a simple affair. I recall seeing a gentle soul outside the Hall of Rhetoric, carrying robes perfectly suited for one of your diminutive stature. I am sure they will be glad to share their wealth with you. But do hurry, little one. The eyes of the collective are ever watching and weighing your worth. Okay. Right, another quest up this way too. Oh, aren't we looking rather smart this day? What can I do for you, little one? Robes to serve in lieu of your ensemble? Ah, how prudent. Alas, I have nothing I can offer you at this present time. The ones your associates saw me carrying earlier were a failed experiment. I never intended to make them so small, so I disposed of them shortly thereafter. No words. By your bemused expression, I gather you find it odd that your elders can fail in so simple an application of creation magics? It is more common than you may realize, little one. In this instance, a gaggle of children was passing by as I held the image of the robes in my mind's eye. Simply by becoming aware of their presence was the form influenced, and the final product changed. All things considered, it could have been worse. Just the other day I was attempting to conceive a white-haired lion, when all of a sudden this exquisite eagle alighted on the nearby railing, giving me quite the shock and dramatically altering my initial concept. Yes, indeed, it was a most unexpected development, but not an altogether unwelcome one. Great strides are often born from unexpected impetuses. But even inspiration has its limits. For all the wonders we have wrought, I do wonder if there will come a time when we have fully explored the potential of our powers, when there is truly nothing left unmade, and only iteration and imitation and stagnation remain. But such esoteric matters need not concern you, little one. For now, I would encourage you to embrace your creativity and work your magics without fear of failure. Nevertheless, it would still be in your best interest to don the appropriate robes to avoid excess scrutiny. Why don't you go to the Bureau of Architect and request the appropriate concept so you can fashion one yourself? Greetings, little one. Come to debate? And at so young an age, how wonderful! Shall we retire to the benches and settle on a topic? Oh, my apologies for jumping to conclusions. My friends are not quite as fond of the Hall of Rhetoric as I am, so I have a habit of chatting up any potential conversation partners. So, if you are not here to debate, I presume you are here to learn about the mysterious and esoteric goings-on here? It would be my pleasure to act as your tutor in these matters, if you will indulge me. The Hall of Rhetoric is, as its name indicates, a place where citizens may freely gather to discuss and debate all manner of topics. This central forum is ideal for open discourse, but smaller rooms are available for those desiring more intimate conversation. Oh, and there is a wealth of reading material concerning rhetorical techniques and history penned by the greatest minds on offer as well, should you wish to refine your techniques through self-study. To my mind, however, rhetoric is a living, breathing thing that is best experienced in the moment of conception and execution. Perhaps a demonstration would best serve to further your education. I saw a contemporary of mine engaged in a lively debate earlier, just outside the hall. Go and see if they are still there, and issue to them my personal invitation to a friendly battle of wits. But that is precisely my point, that their obsession with this so-called mandate to approve only the most beneficial concepts for wider distribution, never mind the ridiculous subjectivity of their criteria, has led the Bureau of the Architect astray from its original purpose. Huh? Have you business with me, child? Regardless, I am in the middle of a heated discussion with my partner. Come back later. No. My position has nothing to do with the intrinsic value of unique identity and whether or not it is retained. Rather, I posit that the reproductions of a given concept are inherently imperfect, and thus they are themselves unique, albeit in minor but significant degrees, and, most importantly, this variance is not to be condemned but celebrated. Better that than to strive in vain for an impossible standard that, even if met, would leave us lesser for lack of diversity. The Amaratines appear to be engrossed in their debate, utterly deaf to you and your pleas for attention. So I'll try it again. My, aren't you a stubborn little bugger? It's strangely endearing, I must admit, but we have all the time in the world. Why are you so insistent that I speak with you this very instant? Ah, you are acquainted with that chatterbox? I suppose I do owe them a debate or two, and now is as good an occasion as any. So be it. I see you found my friend. Thank you, little one. Then, without further ado, let us commence the promised debate. As to the matter of what subject we shall debate today, I propose the recent calamity which has befallen our friends across the pond. What say you? The singular point of contention is, of course, whether or not Amarat should intervene on their behalf. I believe we should. The scale of the disaster which threatens that distant metropolis is of a scale heretofore unseen, and so equally considerable resources must be committed to counteracting its effects. I disagree. The scale concerns me less than the nature of the proposition itself. Who are we to unilaterally intervene in the affairs of those half a world away? Are we to be the saviors of one and all? Such arrogance may well lead to our own downfall. While I understand your concerns from a philosophical standpoint, I fear you are too quick to dismiss practical considerations out of a desire to maintain an unassailable moral authority. But let us, you and I, hold here for the present and offer the floor to our young student. You have heard our opening salvos in this debate concerning the fate of our neighbors across the sea. What is your opinion on the matter? To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, it is indolence. Indeed. The same can be said regardless of one's opinion on the morality of intervention. There is a clear and undeniable benefit to Amarat in using this situation as a test bed for our newest creations, that we might develop and refine our defenses against a potential threat to our own fair city. How readily you cede the moral high ground. Was not our young friend's point that we have an ethical obligation to aid those in need? Yet not only do you instead elect to focus on the benefit to Amarat alone, but you also deprive our dignant neighbors of the agency to determine their own fate. You misunderstand me. What benefits Amarat benefits all creation, I firmly believe, for the knowledge and wisdom we stand to gain from intervention can then be shared with others, empowering everyone to more effectively surmount similar trials in the future. Interesting commentary. I must say, it has been far too long since I engaged in such a refreshing exchange of ideas. My colleague was equally delighted by the opportunity, you may be assured. Some decry it as little more than an academic exercise. After all, we failed to reach a meaningful consensus, but I dare say they missed the forest for the trees. Are we not more enlightened by the experience? Have we not been exposed to a greater variety of viewpoints? Is there not value in this alone? I truly believe we are blessed to be part of a society that exalts the free exchange of ideas and that encourages active participation in the public discourse. This may have been no more than your first foray into the exciting world of rhetoric, but I sense you have the soul of a debater in you. You may well have the potential to change Amarat in ways no one ever thought possible. I shall be watching your trajectory with great interest, my young friend. Hey, concept clerk, I need some new clothes. Welcome to the Bureau of the Architect, little one. Are you here to request a concept for personal use? If so, what sort of concept do you have in mind? Ah, communal robes. That will take but a moment to prepare, but before I fill your request, I should caution you. Pardon me for asking, but your creative potential is, relatively low, is it not? We are trained to assess these things, and I fear that you do not possess the ability to express this concept in physical form. It's almost as though you completely lack it, though that can't possibly be. But regardless of the reason, you needn't worry. We have special tools that may be used to address this very eventuality. I will furnish you with an etheric rope you can use to restrain one of the misbegotten cubuses that congregate in the plaza north of the Academia Anider. You will need to weaken your quarry before you can reliably bind them, but once you have, you can repurpose their energies to create your own robes. Okay. Greetings and welcome to the Bureau of the Architect. Are you in need of assistance? It would be my pleasure to answer any questions you might have. To your left is the counter where you may submit registrations for new creations. To your right, you will find the counter where you may requisition concepts on file. Am I correct in assuming you are not familiar with the services we provide? I see. A more detailed explanation is in order then. You understand that by harnessing the powers of creation, we can give physical form to all manner of concepts, yes? Picture a bouquet of fresh, fragrant flowers, all the colors of a rainbow. Now, picture those selfsame flowers formed of delicate crystal, impossibly fragile, and radiating hues beyond the visual spectrum. Every day our people push the boundaries of imagination to conceive new and striking designs like these. But there are limits to what a single individual can shape with their abilities alone. Those who harbor greater ambitions may offer their concepts to others here, that they might, with the strength of many, accomplish what one cannot. Not all concepts are approved for wider distribution, of course. Dangerous, subversive creations pose a risk to everyone, and so it is only after a comprehensive evaluation, after a concept is judged to further the greater good, that we permit it to be shared with the community. Do you understand, little one? Since you are here, I think you might benefit from conversing with some of the others currently availing themselves of our services. Why don't you go and speak with some of the citizens waiting for their registrations to be processed? Much as I would like to believe my explanation was more than sufficient, I expect that you may gain greater insight in this way. Hello, hello, little one. So rare it is to see one of your size roaming about here. Come to learn about the Bureau, are we? I'm here today to register a new creature. Boneless and with semi-translucent skin, it drifts through the air like a dancer on a summer breeze, its tentacles trailing behind. It utilizes gas bladders to propel itself from place to place, you see. I'll admit it's not the most elegant of designs. I'd not shed a tear if it were rejected, quite frankly. But what can I say? I take pleasure in conceiving unorthodox designs. A beginner like you shouldn't take after me, though. If you're looking to pick up a few tips, you should probably ask someone else. Ah, is that my number they just called? If you'll excuse me. Are you the child I saw speaking with the attendant earlier? I thought so. So young and already so eager to learn about concepts and creations. That curiosity will serve you well, little one. I've been credited with a few popular concepts, I'm proud to say. I'm hoping that my latest will be equally well received. Autonomous figures. I say my latest, but really it's the product of many others' efforts and individual insights. But such is the case for every masterwork, I reckon. Autonomy notwithstanding, these creations know no fear. They are wholly devoid of emotion and will without hesitation or resistance engage in any dangerous activity, even if death is assured. There's a beauty in that, I think, and I hope the officials do so as well. I tell you, there is nothing more nerve-wracking and thrilling than the waiting period before you receive the result. I love it and hate it in equal measure. Anyway, that's all I've got to say about it. If you're still keen to learn more, why not pester that worrywart over yonder? Come to think of it, I think their particular creation was designed to appeal to children. You there, an aspiring creator come to learn about the Bureau and its inner workings, I trust? That's all well and good, but since you're here, perhaps you can help me with a little something. I've been refining a concept of mine for some time now, Adorable little creatures designed to be the perfect plaything for any young citizen. But I'm still terribly unsure if it's ready to be submitted for approval. Which is why I was hoping you might first put it through its paces and tell me what you think. Your honest opinion. I'll have no flattery from you, young lady. This matrix will allow you to summon my creations, but don't use it here. Take it outside first, and don't be afraid to play rough. It's all part of the fun. Oh, and it's a purple glowy event point here. Let's get our bird out here. And where is the concept matrix? There it is. Well, if that's their idea of playing, boy. How did you find my lovelies? Were they as delightful and engaging as I hoped? Tell me everything. Spare no details. I say, they spouted nonsensical phrases and attacked you like mad beasts. How distressing, and not at all like what I intended. My sincerest apologies to you, little one, for the unpleasant experience. Still, from these experiences do we grow stronger and wiser. I look forward to the day when you will try your hand at creation too. And now to go use our etheric rope. Well, there's a likely candidate. Make sure we're positioned there. All right, use that. Got it. Welcome back, little one. Did you succeed in binding a cubus? Yes, I did. You have done well, little one. Allow me to siphon its energies and prepare the matrix for you. It should only take a moment. Here you are, a creation matrix that you may use to generate your own robes. The concept is inscribed upon the crystal, which has been infused with the ether of the beast you brought me. What? Why are you looking at me as though you do not know how to channel the powers of creation? It is as natural as breathing. Even a newborn babe has the instinct. Even if your potential is lacking as one of our people, you must surely know what to do. That should be all the ether currents except for one. Yep. We finished this main story quest, and we'll be able to fly in this zone. A visitor's writ? Yes, I can assist you. Full name, please. An adventurer. Please wait near the counter while I confirm your details. Waiting, 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 and more waiting. An adventurer, your application is ready for collection. As your residency was approved by Emet-Selch himself, further forms of identification will not be required. Here are your application documents. Submit them at the Bureau of the Secretariat, and the clerk will issue you with a visitor's writ for the capital. Yay, I'm getting a visa for Amarat. Oh, I'll be so glad when we can finally fly here. Next, please. Here's my visitor's writ. Application. Visiting the capital, are we? Please take a seat. Your name will be called once your application has been processed. May I? You, I think, are from a time beyond ours. Have you followed in the wake of Emet-Selch? Oh, he's aware. Nay, there is no cause for alarm. I am simply a shade, here and not here. I know only that my name is Hythlodaeus, and that this city is a recreation, a phantom moment plucked from the well of history. These others seem unaware of their pale existence, but I wonder if Emet-Selch's mind was distracted when it came to my reconstitution. A stray thought would have been enough. Hythlodaeus will realize the truth, for example. We were close friends once, you see. Yet, in spite of my perception, I play the same role as all the rest, a bit part meant to bring color and noise to this well-crafted stage. Too much scrutiny and we shall burst like the fragile bubbles we are. Thus, I tell you again, my presence is not to concern you. I wish only to share your company whilst we wait. If you've come this far, then you know of the catastrophe which awaits us on our morrow. The final days. What began as isolated incidents soon swelled into a world-spanning threat. The Convocation of 14, well, it was 13 at the time, endeavored to create a will for our star. They would repair the fundamental laws of order and halt the spread of destruction. But creation on such a scale required an immense source of power. Of those of us who still lived, nearly half offered up their lives in the name of salvation. And from their sacrifice, Zodiark was born. Just as we had hoped, he reached forth and halted the march of oblivion. Yet, oh, how the star had suffered. So many species lost. The land was blighted, the waters poisoned, and even the wind had ceased to blow. Once more did our people give themselves to Zodiark. Another half of our race sacrificed to cleanse the world, to ensure that trees and grasses and myriad tiny lives would sprout and grow and flourish. The cycle of life had begun anew, and we reconsidered the means by which we might protect it. The convocation decided thus: we would nurture our world until it was bursting with vitality. Then, when the time was right, we would offer some portion of its living energy to Zodiark. In return, he would restore to us those brethren whose souls had fed his strength, and together we would resume our role as stewards. There were, however, those who disagreed with this plan. They argued that enough had been sacrificed to Zodiark, that this new world should belong to the lives newly born. These dissidents surrendered their life energies in the creation of Hydaelyn, an incarnation of their opposing belief. And for the first time in history, our people stood divided. Know you, then, how this conflict ended? I thought you might. Emet-Selch has ever been a champion for the will of Zodiark. The original plan may have been set back by millennia, but he will have not abandoned his course. He will pay the price for our return by whatever means is necessary. And though he may carry himself with a certain glib ease, Emet-Selch is not a man to bear his burdens lightly. In fact, I imagine they have only grown heavier with every passing century. "'Tis truly a terrible weight he has chosen to carry." An adventurer. It seems your turn has come. Pray, do not let me keep you. Ah, There was one last thing. You walk with another at your side, yes? Nay, I see no definite form, just the faintest suggestion of a second soul. I doubt it visible to anyone but me. Otherwise, I assume only you can see and hear this ethereal companion. Your connection is hardly a coincidence. In our time, the two of you were one. The color of your souls tell the tale. A hue that distinctive cannot be mistaken, no matter how thin the soul is spread. This is just the kind of fate I might expect for one such as she. Surely Emet-Selch has recognized the hint of her in you. An adventurer? Fare you well, my new old friend. May you find what it is you seek. Your visitor's writ, as requested. When you wish to gain admittance to the capital, simply present the document to the attendant within. Man, all that exposition just surely sheds a whole new light on what's been going on since the very beginning of the game. Where is this? Over at the Aetherite? I ought to just teleport over there maybe a little faster. Not too far. Or did I go the wrong way? No, we have to run all the way up these stairs, don't we? Or no, maybe just meet him at the bottom of the stairs? Oh, yeah, good. Finally, you were gone so long, I was on the verge of mounting a rescue party. How fared you in your bureaucratic ventures? I got a visitor's writ. Ah, I see my instincts were correct. And a good thing, too. Urianger and I weighed our chances of breaking into the capital, and an official entrance is by far the more attractive option. The capital boasteth not a single armed sentry. It would seem that in their time they did not deem it needful to post guards. The windows and doors, however, appear heavily warded. Though mightily did we strive, with strength mundane and magical, we failed to budge them even a fraction of one ilm. Mayhap 'twas simply the case that Emet-Selch's recreation did not extend to their usual function. We didn't try everything, of course, but we thought it best to conserve our time and energy for more pressing matters. Speaking of which, Reen and I tried asking about a cure for you. The problem is, these ancients didn't exist beyond Amarots today. They will happily tell their own tales, but whenever we attempted to explain our situation, the conversation quickly became muddled. What of you, Anne? Was aught worthy of interest said during your efforts to obtain a writ? A great sacrifice of life in exchange for their brethren's resurrection. And you say all the Ascian scheming has been leading to this? All this time. But if they still mean to enact this plan, then things won't end with the rejoining. Aye, I thought we knew their intentions in full. Restore the world to its former glory and, in turn, empower Zodiark to reclaim his throne as the will of the star. Yet that was merely a step along the way. I hesitate to put it into words, but we have to assume that following the final rejoining, the Ascians mean to draw on the lives of the Source to make their sacrifice to Zodiark. That does seem the most likely scenario. Mayhap those who ally with the Ascians would be spared that fate. But what value is there in surviving when all our history, all our struggles will be erased? I cannot conscience such an act. Of course not, and that's to say naught of what Emet-Selch plans for the Exarch's power. Do we stand by and let him threaten our future as well as our past? We need to find him, Anne, and when we do, make your mark. Change the course of history in a way that's felt by those who came before and those who came after, by everyone you've ever met. Change things so that even my other self dying somewhere in that future calamity will smile and say, I knew you would win. Is fighting Emet-Selch the only way? He created an entire city. It will take everything we have to defeat him, if we even can. And if you push that hard in your current state, the light will break free. The decision to press on lies with you, just as it lies with each and every one of us. Alright, we've got Ether Current completed. And this is where we'll leave it for today. Gone way past time, but I wanted to get to a good spot here where we had flying available to us. And not much to do left in the next stream for Final Fantasy on Thursday. So I hope you'll join us then, but if you're into Infinite Undiscovery, join us again tomorrow. We'll be starting our Infinity Mode playthrough, and that should be quite a challenge. We'll see how long it takes us to get that one underway, because that is going to be difficult for me. We'll see how it goes. Anyways, let's see if I can find someone we can raid out to here and share the love here. So one moment, please. We find a good candidate here. No, thank you, Lily, for being here as always. And thank you, everybody else, for hanging in there with me for the rest of this stream as well. Let's see. I will find somebody here. Let's see. Oh, Big Milky is doing Final Fantasy XIV stuff, probably from the new patch and everything. I haven't been with him in a while. Let me go ahead and send us over there. Again, thank you all so much. And I will be heading on over to Big Milky here in just a moment.